Hello everyone, welcome to paragraph writing discussion, and for this session we will discuss about coherence, cohesion, unity and completeness. These four characteristics are all the things that must exist in a good and efficient paragraph. So let's take a look at each of them. The first characteristic of a good and efficient paragraph is coherence. So a coherent paragraph is a paragraph which made up of sentences that are ordered according to a principle. And there are three types of ordering depending on the types of paragraph. The first type of ordering is called as chronological, the second one is spatial, and the last one is logical ordering. I hope you still remember that there are four types of paragraph: narrative, descriptive, expository, and argumentative paragraphs. Each of these paragraphs will have a specific ordering of idea in the paragraph. Especially for narrative and description, each of them will have a different types of ordering. But for exposition and argumentation, both of them have a similar ordering. So let's see each of these order of development of the idea in a paragraph. Okay, the first type of order of idea in a paragraph is called as chronological order. So this type of order is normally used to develop a narrative paragraph. What does chronological order mean, by the way? So chronological order means that the supporting sentences in a paragraph must be ordered according to time. Here we have a narrative paragraph taken from Brodmann and Frydenberg in 2001, page 32. So let's read the paragraph together and let's see whether this paragraph is ordered chronologically or not. The best birthday. My 11th birthday was the best of my childhood. I awoke early in the morning and found my room was decorated in my favorite colors, black and orange, for my favorite sports team. After I got dressed, I went downstairs. I had to pass the dining room on my way to the kitchen, so I saw all my birthday presents piled high on the table. I rushed into the kitchen and my mother greeted me with a big kiss. I begged her to let me open just one present, but she said I had to wait until later when all my aunts and uncles would arrive. The day seemed endless while I waited. At last my aunts and uncles arrived in the late afternoon. Then my mother said I could open my presents. I tore into each colorfully wrapped present, but I was disappointed because each package contained only a piece of paper with one word written on it. My mother knew I liked puzzles, so she said that this was a puzzle I had to figure out. I looked at all the words and realized that my real present was in the garage. When I ran out there, I saw my beautiful new 10-speed bicycle. I was thrilled and told them all that I would never forget this wonderful birthday. So, if we take a look at all the supporting sentences of this paragraph, starting from the second sentence up to the last sentence, we know that all the sentences are organized chronologically. Each sentences, each sentence, I mean, from the second sentences up to the last sentence, is developed based on the time of happening of the event, starting from the time of the writer woke up, and then what he saw after he got dressed, and then what his mother told him to do until in the late afternoon, until all his aunts and uncle came to his birthday party. So all of these sentences are arranged according to the time. If we mixed the sentences, I mean, if the sentences are jumbled, not following the time of the event happened, the paragraph will have different meaning, or in other words, it will become meaningless. So this is the meaning of the order of time or chronological order in narrative paragraph. Okay, now we come to the second type of ordering, which is called as spatial order. So spatial order is used to develop a coherent descriptive paragraph. Spatial comes from the root word space. So spatial order means that the supporting sentences are ordered according to space. So the supporting sentences would follow the order of the direction, like from top to bottom or another way around, from head to foot, left to right, or front to back, including inside out or another way around. So we have here another paragraph taken from Broadman and Frydenberg in 2001, page 32 up to 33. And this is an example of descriptive paragraph. Let's read the paragraph together. A beautiful bride. She looked picture perfect on her wedding day. Her short dark hair had been curled for the occasion, and on top of it rested a small veil. Under her naturally arched eyebrows, her warm brown eyes reflected serenity. Her eyes had only the slightest bit of makeup on them, as usual. Her straight nose seemed to indicate that she was headed in the right direction. Her cheeks were rosy, and her lips were naturally red and full. She stood straight as an arrow as she walked down the aisle on the arm of her father. She wore a short, white, elegant dress and held a bouquet of white gardenias. Her stride was confident yet formal and made in white sandals. Indeed, she looked beautiful as she walked toward her husband and her new life. This paragraph is different from the earlier paragraph that we have just discussed. The second sentence up to the last sentence of this paragraph do not follow chronological order or do not arrange based on the time of the happening. Instead, the sentences here, the supporting sentences, are developed following the order of space. In this case, the order of space is the one from in the one in the form of realizing the descriptions of Sue from top of the body up to the bottom, starting from the descriptions of how she looked like from the hair up to what she wore on foot. So it is again the one which is called as a spatial ordering of sentences in a descriptive paragraph. Another thing that I would like you to pay attention in this paragraph is about the use of figurative language, or in Bahasa Indonesia we call it majas. So if you would like to make your descriptive paragraph more lively in the meaning of you really want to make sure that your readers can see, can imagine the thing you are describing in your paragraph in their mind. So using figurative language is one of the things that you can do to develop your paragraph writing effectively. From this paragraph, we can see some figurative language in this paragraph. Let's see. From the first sentence, we can see the metaphor picture perfect. So picture perfect here describe how does she look like. It is a metaphor. And then another figurative language on this paragraph is a personification on the second paragraph. In the words or group of words like, and on top of it rested a small veil. The predicate rested here makes the thing it has human characteristic, and it is called as personification figurative language. Another one is let's see on the next sentence, under her naturally arched eyebrows here is also another figurative language which is categorized as metaphor. And then we also have another figurative language which is called as simile. We can show it. We can see it on the sentence. Okay, this one. She stood straight as an arrow as she walked down the aisle on the arm of her father. Stood straight as an arrow is another figurative language to describe how she stood when she was in her wedding day. Straight as an arrow is simile because it is used. This kind of figurative language use um, comparison of something to another thing which has similar figure. So in conclusion, when you write, if you want to write an effective descriptive paragraph, do not forget to use figurative language in addition to the spatial order. Okay, so the last type of ordering in a paragraph is called as logical order. So logical order is normally used to develop a coherent expository and argumentative paragraphs. So what does logical order mean? It means that the supporting sentences in the paragraphs are ordered based on logic or reason. Here is another paragraph taken again from Brodmann and Frydenberg, the same book as the two other paragraphs earlier. Let's read this paragraph together. Becoming an adult. There are many ways that societies welcome children into adulthood. For example, in many Native American tribes, adolescents are sent to a vision quest. This is a time when they go off on their own to find a personal spirit to guide them through life. Another example of children passing on to adulthood is celebrated in Judaism. When boys and girls turn 13, they are allowed to read the Torah in the synagogue and are then accepted as adults. In Catholicism, boys and girls have their confirmation ceremony. In this ceremony, they pledge themselves as adults to the church and to the Christ. There are also non-religious rites of passage too. Sweet 16 parties are very popular, as are quinceañeras parties for Latina girls. Even getting a driver's license can mean that a child has become an adult in many countries. In short, then, the common thread in all these activities is the recognition that a child is old enough to be treated as an adult and to assume adult responsibilities. After we read this paragraph, we can feel that the order of the sentences in this sentence is completely different from the narrative and descriptive paragraphs that we have just discussed. In this paragraph, becoming an adult, we can feel that there is a logic or a reason why these sentences is arranged to develop the topic sentence. In this case, some ways or many ways that societies welcome children into adulthood. In this paragraph, especially the supporting sentences are ordered using examples, are arranged using examples. We can notice the transition, for example, in the beginning of second sentence. So once again, the paragraph is developed using exemplification technique, and giving example or exemplification is one of the way of logical thinking or reasons of developing the topic sentence. In this case, once again, is about the ways that society will come into adulthood. There are some examples from several societies, like the Native American tribes in the second sentence, and then another example is from Judaism, and then from Catholicism, and also the tradition to welcome adulthood from non-religious rites. So if we rearrange these sentences, we can do that as long as the examples and the elaborations are incorrect relationship. So it is more like the logical relationship, not the time relationship or the spatial relationship. And now we come to the discussions of the second characteristic of a good and effective paragraph, which is called as cohesion. So when a paragraph has cohesion, it means that all the supporting sentences in the paragraph stick together in their support of the topic sentence. And there are five important cohesive devices to make a paragraph cohesive. Those five devices are linking words, personal pronouns, definite articles, demonstrative pronouns, and synonyms. So here is the discussions of the first cohesive devices, which is called as linking words. There are many kinds of linking words, like coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, prepositions, and also transition. Transitions are a very common type of linking words. They are words or phrases that help to connect sentences to one another. To some extent, linking words are particular to the type of paragraph you are writing. It means that when you write, say for example, a narrative paragraph, the conjunctions or the transition that you used in your narrative paragraph will be certain or particular, and normally those linking words are different from the linking words that you use to develop descriptive paragraph or exposition or argumentative paragraphs. So each paragraph, once again, normally has different type of linking words. A complete list of linking words can be found in some grammar books, and if you have the Brodmann and Frydenberg book or Oshima and Hogg, you can see some of the linking words have been compiled into classifications according to the types of the linking words. So here are examples of the common linking words along with that has been classified. You can see like for chronological order, the transition words normally used is like are like first, second, third, at first, after that, before, next, after, finally, and so on. Here we can you can also see like transition to show contrast. Normally you can use however, in contrast, on the contrary. If it is the preposition, you can use instead of, different from, and so on. So again, don't forget to take a look at your grammar book or any books which show about this transition or linking words as one of the cohesive devices. Now we come to the discussions of the second type of cohesive devices, which is called as personal pronouns. So another way to help a paragraph has good cohesion is by using personal pronouns. Personal pronouns usually have antecedents or nouns that they stand for in previous parts of sentences. Normally, personal pronouns are used in a paragraph to avoid using the same nouns, which give the sense of monotonous. Personal pronouns maybe function as subject, objects, possessive pronouns, possessive reflexive, or possessive adjectives, and you can use all of them or some of this kind of personal pronouns in your paragraph to make your paragraph cohesive. The third cohesive devices is called as definite article. So definite article is realized in the form of the word the. A noun with a definite article often relates to a previously mentioned noun. By using the word the or the definite article the, it means that the sentence using or the noun phrase having the word the has a relation with the earlier sentence in the paragraph. In that way, the current sentence and the earlier sentence are related or cohesive. The fourth cohesive device is called as demonstrative pronoun. So demonstrative pronouns are those words like this, that, this, or those. These demonstrative pronouns also require antecedents or nouns which has been stated or written earlier in order to help connect sentences to those that came before. So again, by having these demonstrative pronouns in your sentences, it means that the sentences have something to do or connected to the earlier sentences. In this way, again, your sentences are cohesive. And the last type of cohesive devices is called as synonym. And synonyms, again, is another way to make your sentences in a paragraph related to one another. When you use synonym in your paragraph, it means that the sentence refer back to their antecedents or the nouns which have been uh, written in earlier sentences. This paragraph is an example of paragraph which has which use synonym. All the cohesive devices is actually there in the sentence, but the word groups which are underlined there show about the use of synonyms in the paragraph. The topic is about retirement. So to avoid monotonous thing, by writing the word retirement in every sentences, in each sentences, in the sentence, so the writer can use synonym like stop working or quit working or couldn't work. And here is an example of an efficient paragraph, a good paragraph, using all the cohesive devices in the writing. You can see how each sentences in the paragraph are related one another. It is shown by the arrow there. The use of synonyms, the use of demonstrative pronoun, linking words, definite article, and personal pronouns are complete in this paragraph. And again, it means that all the sentences, all the supporting sentences are connected each other, and in other words, this paragraph is cohesive. And now we come to the discussions of the third characteristic of a good and efficient paragraph, which is called as unity. A unified paragraph or a paragraph which has unity means a paragraph which has, all the supporting sentences of the paragraph relate to the topic sentences carefully. A unified paragraph must not have any irrelevant sentences or any sentences which do not develop the main idea or the topic sentence. And the last characteristic of a good and efficient paragraph is called as completeness. A paragraph is considered complete when it has all the major supporting sentences it needs to fully explain the topic sentence, and also the minor supporting sentences it needs to explain each major supporting sentence. So, in other words, the idea of completeness here means that the major supporting sentences and the minor supporting sentences should explain the topic sentence fully. There should be, the supporting sentences must not left the readers with question, because the idea in the supporting sentences is not complete yet. So those are the discussions of cohesion, coherence, unity, and completeness. Once again, I would like to remind you that all of these characteristics must exist or must be found in a good and efficient paragraph. Happy writing after this, everyone, and see you.